slide, we will be talking about adding value with video. Video is probably one of the best ways you can get your message across to a mass amount of people, and we're huge fans over here. So I have my right-hand guy, Jake Fittipaldi, the digital media producer who handles all things videos at UMortgage. If you're watching the sales meeting, he's the guy behind the scenes of it today. He's going to be talking about video and adding value in general. And then he's going to be walking into a CapCut tutorial as well and do a live edit for you guys. And then we want to make sure we have time at the end for questions. But at any point, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, put it in the chat, and we'll answer them as they come in. So I will hand it over to Jake to take it away.
Thank you so much, Caden, for your kind words and for having me on the Sales Huddle today. I'm very, very honored to be here and excited to talk about video with you all. So yeah, like Caden said, I'm here to talk about how you can use video as a tool to add value to not only your own business, but to your realtor partner's business as well. So I'll just get right into it here. So just to quickly run through these slides so we can get to the real meat today, I'll just quickly introduce myself, explain how you can use video to add value exactly. I'm going to talk a little bit about what CapCut is as a platform so you have a better understanding before you dive into it. And then I'll jump right into a live editing tutorial as well as question and answer at the end. So like I said, my name is Jake Fittipaldi. I'm based here in Philadelphia, PA at UMortgage headquarters, and I'm a digital media producer. So as Caden said, I work on all things video, live streaming, the sales meeting, do a lot of editing around here. So if you have any video questions at all ever, you can reach out to myself or Caden or Alex on the video team, and we'd be happy to help you. My background is in content creation and video editing. I actually went to school for media production at Temple University here in Philly. And yesterday, I actually just celebrated my 1 year at UMortgage. So it's very exciting to be on the sales meeting today, celebrating it all. Big week. So to get right into it, I want to talk about how to use video as a value add to your realtor partners. I am going to frame this in like the open house scenario, but you can use video in multiple different ways to add value to your own business or realtors' business as well. But just for the sake of this meeting, we'll talk about it in the open house scenario. So let's say on the weekend, you attend a realtor partner's open house. While you're there, you would typically introduce yourself, maybe take a selfie, upload it to your story. But there's definitely a way that you can go the extra mile by utilizing video. So what I would suggest to you is while you're at the open house, you walk around the house and use your phone to capture content of the space. So very basic, as I'll show you in the tutorial, very basic clips of just what the space looks like, its different features. If they have a pool, take a clip of the pool. If they have like a finished basement, take a clip of that, just really capturing the space and its essence on video. After the open house, you would then go home to edit the video for social media promotion and share it to your social network whilst tagging the realtor and inviting them to collaborate. So as we all know, you can tag someone in the caption of an Instagram post or a LinkedIn post. But one feature we always like to call out, as the marketing team likes to call out, if you are able to, is to utilize the collaborator feature on Instagram. This is a super cool feature that allows you to not only post to your own feed and your own social network, but you can tag in your realtor partner and the post will essentially double post onto their timeline as well. So you're automatically doubling the reach of your social post if you do that. But you can also tag them and do all of that like the normal way. So once you have the clip up posted, you're going to want to increase the content reach by sharing it across platforms. So if you're posting it to Instagram, you should be posting it to TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you should be tagging the realtor every single time. This is how you maximize the value that you're adding through the social post. And then as with anything that you're posting, we highly encourage you to engage as much as possible. So you're not just posting it and letting it live on your page. You're going back and seeing who's commenting, who's liking. You go through the likes and you go through the people, then you start liking their photos, you start following them, you comment back to anyone, you post it to your story. Any way that you can increase the engagement of the post will help you ultimately in the end. So once all of that's complete, what you have now is a bigger audience for not only yourself, but also your realtor, a stronger relationship with your realtor because they see you as someone who will come to their open house and they won't only just promote it through a selfie or like a story shout out. You'll actually create content for them to promote the listing that's actually very useful and engaging. So Obviously, I'm a video guy. I prefer video over photo stuff, and I think that algorithms are pushing video as well. So this is real value that you can offer to realtor partners in the end. So I talked a little bit about editing the social content. One way you can do so is through the application CapCut. So CapCut is a free video editing software that allows you to create high quality content from not only your desktop computer, but also your mobile device. Now for today's presentation, I am gonna be demoing it on the desktop because of the capabilities I have here at the office and on Teams. But I wanna be very clear that this is all available on your mobile device if you're not comfortable editing on your desktop. It's available for both Apple products, so iOS and Android. And there's over 100 free fonts, effects, transitions, music selections. There's actually a paid part of this software that you can get even more, like thousands free fonts and effects and things. I think Andrew Cady, who might talk later when we do question and answer, I think he pays for it and he sees real value in it. So if you're interested, there is a paid service that sort of like levels up your CapCut experience. But if you're just starting out, feel free to play around in the free one. There's some other ways that you may see value for CapCut is green screen. So if you're ever filming like talking head content and you feel like your background is a little boring, just film in front of one static color. You can remove that in CapCut and put like a UMortgage branded background. And then of course, auto captions. You can create captions for your videos in a click of a button and it'll generate the text on screen for you. Ultimately, I just want to express that CapCut is the most user-friendly video editing software there is available right now to consumers or to any businesses. Not only is it free, but it's easy to understand. It's available on your phone, which is like a huge plus, which a lot of video editors don't get to edit on their phone or on the go. So this is especially useful for us who may not be, spending all this time video editing. You just want to get it up. And then lastly, I just want to shout out on the My UMortgage page, we already have CapCut video tutorials built out for you. So all you have to do is go to the trainings page and then the how-to videos page, and you'll see a series of 11 or 12 CapCut tutorials there for you that break down all the basics. So you don't always have to refer back to the Sales Huddle. There's also a bunch of mini bite-sized tutorials that will answer specific questions. And if you're interested at all you have to do to suggest the new tutorial is drop it on the marketing community and we'll put it into production for you because these are very simple things. So if nobody has any questions right now, I'm going to jump into the live editing. Kaden, let me know if you see any questions in the chat, but I'm going to stop screen sharing and then jump into that.
We do not, guys, but I just put the link to those CapCut tutorials that Jake made into the chat there. So be sure to check that out, bookmark it. And like Jake said, if there's something missing that you do want to see, just reach out to us.
Perfect. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Awesome. So I'm going to demo how I would create an open house reel. We only have 30 minutes, so I'm not going to get super fancy. I'm going to keep it very basic today, but I highly encourage you guys all to tap into CapCut, play around, like just have fun with it because there's so much that you can do and it's very user-friendly, as I said. So I'm just going to show really quick what the final product that I'm going to create, what I want it to look like. If it plays here. Okay, yeah. Can you hear it? That's all right. Yeah, so you guys get the idea. Essentially, I'm just showing off the office space. Obviously, I'm not at an open house, but I just did it in our office to show the example. And now I'm going to show you how I would do that all in CapCut. Kaden, I know you said that you couldn't hear that. Is there a way to share audio, or is it not a possibility?
We don't have to worry about that right now. We'll just make a note that like there was fun music playing underneath. We'll still show you guys how you add music. But you guys get the gist. Make it fun, Make it upbeat, make it light.
That's perfect. Okay, guys, so this is what you will see when you open the CapCut application and you start a new project. The first thing you're always going to do is import your video footage. They make it super easy for you. This big button right here that says import, you just click on that. Obviously, I work on a lot of video projects, so I have like 100 different folders on my computer. But before this, I went ahead knowing that I was going to edit this video, and I made a folder of all the footage that I'm going to use in this project. So it's super easy for me to just import it all together. And now it's inside of my project. So the next thing that I would probably do, the way that I usually edit, is I build out my timeline. So I'm going to go through each clip and decide whether or not I want to use this in the video. So to add it to my timeline, all I have to do is hit this add to track button, or I can drag it down like this. All right, so now it's on my timeline. As you can see, it's just a video of the UMortgage U at the front of our office. Now, I'm not a super big fan of how it's framed, so maybe I would want to adjust so that the U is more center. So all I would do is just pull this in and out so I can make it a little bit more centered.
Right.
And now, yeah, I like the look of that much better. And then the U fills up the whole frame. Now I'm just going to quickly go through and add the rest of the tracks to, rest of the videos to my track. Okay, so now you can see here that all the videos that I recorded of the office are on my timeline. But they're all different sizes and they're all different lengths. And one of the things that's really important when you're creating video content and something that helps it stand out is sort of creating a rhythm of your clips. So you don't want something super long and then super short, super long, and it going back and forth. And then your viewer starts to kind of feel like a little disjointed by it all. So what I'm going to do quickly, I'll just show you on the first one that I do. I'm going to make them all the same size. So I would just do that by dragging them on top of one another. I can put them back into the main timeline. I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but here we go. Just that. All right, almost there. Sorry, guys. Right there.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Do your thing. And basically, what you're doing there, while he's finishing this, is you're trimming the end of the video off. So you could trim the beginning or the end to pick the perfect spot on it. Sorry, I'll figure to throw some commentary at you while you're going.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. You're the best. Yeah, Andrew's totally right. I didn't pay attention to like what part of the video that I want to cut out just for like time's sake, but you can extend the end or the beginning of it by just dragging it back and forth. Actually, this part of the video is way better, so I am gonna go in here and do that. Yeah, okay. Cool, so now that I have them all the same size, this is gonna be like my intro clip. So it's a little bit longer. And then the rest follow that sort of rhythm that I was talking about. They cut at the same exact time. And then once we add music, it'll feel very cohesive. So for the next thing I'm gonna do is I want to add transitions in between each clip. And this is super easy on CapCut. Like any other editing program, they make it super complicated and hard. So all you have to do in the desktop application is go up to the top and you'll see a button that says transitions. And you'll actually see a section that says trending. So something that's cool about CapCut is it's owned by TikTok. So they sort of have their finger on the pulse of what video editors are playing around in, and then they make that available to you. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to use one transition. This one right here, it's called pull in. And all I would do to add that in between my clips is drag it to where the two clips meet. And it just jumps right onto the clip. And as you can see, instead of it just being a very static cut with no animation, it pulls it in and it has that cool, like fun feel to it. I'm going to repeat that on all of the clips as they transition into each other. Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. So now you guys can see it pulls in on all of them.
Jake, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
For the mobile app, would it be the same way of putting a transition just in between the two cuts?
Yeah, so on the mobile app, it's essentially the same exact thing. They have a transitions panel, and all you have to do, instead of it being like up top in this big panel, it'll come up on the bottom and you just select the one that you want. It'll attach it to your timeline for you. And it's very user friendly, in my opinion. So I definitely
And
encourage
just
people to try that.
and just one thing I'll throw in there. Sorry, hope you don't mind me doing this, but you
You're
can
good.
also add the transition to one, click on your transition, and then hit apply to all, and it will apply the same transition to every video clip you have, so you don't have to drag it multiple times.
Yeah, that's super helpful. I should have done that actually. And really quick, while I'm here, guys, I'm just gonna add our UMortgage end card. I probably wouldn't use this on an open house, but it's just good to show you. I'm gonna drop it in here, and then just to like discern it from the rest of the video and like make it feel different, maybe I'll add like, instead of the pull in, I'll do the pull out on the end card. Yeah, and then the UMortgage brand comes up. Cool. So we have transitions. We have all our clips in the sequence. The next thing maybe I want to add is text. So same idea as transitions. You go up to the text panel and you just click this little add to track button. And it's super easy to sort of match it to the length of your clip. So if you're doing an open house, the title text, I would probably make it the address. So for us, it's 100 North 18th Street. Obviously, you guys can get creative with what you want to put on screen and have fun with it. But for this, I'll just make it pretty basic. I'll make it a cool font, say that, make it fit the screen, and definitely want to play around with color on this little panel here. I'll make it the UMortgage purple. So you can see in the top right here, you have a bunch of different options to play around with text. These are like presets that they have for you. And you can also upload fonts and things. So yeah, there's lots to play around with here. You can make it bigger and smaller using this scale slider. And another really cool thing that CapCut makes super easy for you is animating your text. So this is the first thing they're going to see in the video. So maybe I make some cool animation like pop up. So instead of the text just being there, it like pops up and has that fun feel to it. There's many different ways that you can make the video more exciting like that. And like you guys saw in the example that I showed, maybe I would add some text throughout that sort of show off the coolest features of the house. So HQ gets some pretty awesome views. So maybe I would make the text here, city skyline views. And this text is actually kind of dark. So maybe I would change it to something. I would change it to this and then make the stroke purple instead of, yeah. Okay, perfect. Oh no. Getting all jumbled up here. Yeah, so just play around with what you guys think looks good. You definitely don't want your text to not be visible. So yeah, I would do city skyline views. Maybe here I would do private office spaces. And then like for the studio, and also an easy way that I'm like making this happen quicker is I'm clicking on it, I'm copying it, and then I'm pasting it instead of starting from scratch. And then I would do video studio. So that's how you would add text to the video, which is a really cool way to like sort of level up and make it feel even more professional. Yeah, so if we have no questions about text, I'll move into how to add music to your video. It's a very similar process to the other things. You would just click on this audio button here. And another awesome thing about CapCut, as I said, it's owned by TikTok. So they have this section with music that's popular on TikTok right now and trending, which will help more eyes get on your video. But with that being said, these TikTok songs are not licensed for commercial use. So if you're using it on TikTok, you're okay. But if you're downloading it and then posting it to YouTube Shorts or LinkedIn or Instagram, it gets a little tricky. Your video could get flagged for copyright. Nothing's going to happen to your account, but they'll pull it down. So there is a section in here that says commercial music. This is all free to use across any platforms. So you don't have to like worry about any of those laws. But if you're just posting to TikTok, let's say, I'll use one of these trending sounds. This is one I liked earlier. It's called Countless. As you can see on my timeline, the music is way longer than what my video is going to be. So I'm just going to use this slider at the end to line it up. And something I like to add to all my videos, I don't want the music to end super abruptly, and I also don't want it to start super abruptly. So all you have to do to fix that is click on it, and in the top right audio panel, you can control the volume by this slider. So maybe I'll make it a little less loud. And then here, these fade in and fade out sliders will help you create a gradual fade in and fade out, as you can see on the end of my clip. So instead of the music just ending really abruptly, it'll like fade out and it'll be super smooth, and like it'll be more pleasing to hear, especially in the beginning too. Those abrupt songs that can start really loud, those will like deter people from wanting to watch the video. Absolutely. So yeah, the finished product will look a little bit like this. So yeah, that is how I would move through editing an open house reel, Instagram reel, TikTok. Obviously, it's very basic because we're on limited time here, but I wanted to save some time for questions and answers. So if any of you ever have trouble with CapCut or want to make your videos even cooler and just have a question, please feel free to reach out, but I'll turn it over to Kaden to start the question portion.
Yeah, I did answer this question in the chat, but Casey was asking about the video stuttering. That's just from sharing it on Teams and some of our Wi-Fi. So that should not be an issue for you when you are doing it on your own. It's just the sharing of the screen. But yeah, like Jake said, any questions you have, it doesn't have to be about CapCut. It could just be video in general. You have me and Jake here and Alex, our new video guy, and you also have some video masters that I can see, LO masters on here as well that we could pick their brain. I do want to make a quick note. If you do want to add music, but you're also talking in the video, so you have your audio and music audio, please make sure you're turning down the volume the way that Jake is showing right now of that music you're adding, because too many times I'm seeing videos where I can barely hear the person talking because all I hear is the trending sound attached to it. So make a note to make sure that it's easy to hear everything you're saying. And like Jake said, when you're putting text on it, make sure everybody can read what you're putting on there. Because otherwise, you kind of defeat the purpose of even putting it on there. And another great feature Jake mentioned briefly, what is the automated captions that you could do on CapCut. It is a huge time saver. It'll just type out everything that you're saying, transcribe it, and then you also have the option to animate those as well, the same way that Jake showed you. You can animate your text, which is a lot of fun. All right, so do we have any questions from anybody about video in general, or any comments from any of those that use video and they have a cool tip or trick that they share? Andrew, go ahead.
So yeah, one thing I would add to this is you can also add photos, and you don't just have to do video. So I've been doing this for a while now. I haven't done it a ton recently, but go to Zillow and create a listing presentation off of the photos that they're listing. Find a killer property for sale, download 15 of the photos, and create a presentation of the photos with transitions in between, with music in between it, and present it to the real estate agent. Say, hey, I saw this amazing listing you have. Here's a video I created that you could help promo your property with. I could share my screen and show you exactly what I'm talking about if you want me to, but I don't want to dive too deep into it if you don't want me to.
We could do a quick demo if you don't mind.
So like I was just playing with this while I'm listening to Jake absolutely kill this, but I just downloaded quickly a bunch of photos off of this property. And how did I get this photo darker? Well, I turned the opacity down, so you can adjust the opacity of the photo. So I just added 123 Any Street here, and you can create a quick visual presentation, add some music to it, export it as a video, pass it on to your real estate agent and say, hey, if you want a promo video for your property, I created this for you. It's just kind of a wow factor you can do for people. And you say that's wide format, that's not a reel. Well, you can go to ratio right here, change it up to be real format, and then just go in and adjust your photos to how you want them on each slide. And so you can make it to a reel, you could make it to, your standard 16:9 format. There's a ton of things you can do, but photos can be a really easy way to just go to a listing, download their photos, and quickly create a cool little video that you could share with the agent that they may not know how to do. And then guess what? You can be the one that teaches their office how to do it. You can go in and teach a CapCut class on how to do these videos, win an office's business over it. And then just one other thing, when you're doing photos in here, you can select all, hit Control A, and you can adjust all of the photos, the length of each photo at one time. So if you want to adjust how long each photo showed for, you can just grab and adjust it and adjust the total time. 17-second video now.
I love that. That's a huge value add you can have for your borrowers.
Perfect.
Or your partners, I mean. Andrew, you do the paid version, correct?
Correct.
What differences do you see?
Well, it's $8 a month. So, if you close one loan a year, you're going to pay for 25 years of CapCut. It's to me, it's such a non-issue. You get a bunch of pro features, and you'll see as you go through it, there's a bunch of things that say pro on it. You'll see transitions that are specifically for the pro version. If you go into when you're adding text, there's templates that they have set up for captions that are really, really, really good. I'll share screen again one more time if you don't mind, but some of these things, the pro version gets you some added benefits. Like this is one of the videos that I was working on today, and I added captions to it. And you can do all sorts of things like on your captions, you can go to animation, and you'll see there's a bunch of pro animations in here. And so this is a pro animation. This is a pro animation. And the one I normally do is a pro animation, which is this one, where it highlights each word as you're saying it. And then you can go in and you can change the font and you can do whatever you want with this thing. And so when you're playing your captions along, you get this. I'll play it real quick so maybe you can see it. It actually highlights each word as you say it. So the pro version does have a lot of benefits. They also have text templates in here. So if that famous one you always see is something like this. Let me go back to basic and adjust the size of it. This is like a really common one you see on TikTok videos. And so you see they have a bunch of additional benefits for going pro. For $7.99 a month, I think it's a no-brainer in my opinion. It's not like you're not talking $100 a month for software.
Love that. That makes a lot of sense. Nate, I love your comment. You use CapCut a lot. It's easy to use. Love it. Casey, you have something to add?
Actually, just a question. I was just going to ask, the sort of barrier for me with video is just having to take constant clips of video and be able to move them around. How do you just normally save them in Google Drive, or what's the best practice for that to kind of keep your files together?
Yeah, for this video, what I did was I took them on my phone, and I have the OneDrive app on my phone. So I just uploaded them to OneDrive from there and then downloaded them on my computer. Obviously, that can be an annoying process, but it is good for organization to keep them in a Google Drive or a OneDrive, just so you know. Another feature that doesn't compress the quality of your videos is AirDrop. If you have Apple products, you can just AirDrop them from device to device. You can also text them, but then you start to get into compression things like a video quality, which we definitely don't want. So if you're editing on your phone, you can keep them on your phone. But if not, I would recommend uploading them to Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive, and then re-downloading them onto another device. That's probably the best way to transfer your videos from one thing to another.
Perfect. We are at the time of 2:30. If anybody has any other questions, we can answer them real quick. Jake, you might have mentioned this briefly, but it is nice that you can export from CapCut directly to TikTok if that is a platform you're using. You do have that option. And if you do it that way from your phone, it removes the CapCut watermark, which is just another plus. Real quick, Andrew, when you have the Pro, does it automatically remove the CapCut watermark?
It does. It doesn't automatically on your phone. It still has the CapCut ending, but you have the option to delete it when you edit a video. And awesome. What I do is I add my Epic Mortgage Team logo with the same sound effect. and then I just edit my previous video and delete my clip and add my clip, so I have the same ending and the same sound effect on every video. I don't have to add it. It's already in there. I just go into my previous project, delete the previous video, add my new content, and my ending stays the same on every video.
Beautiful. Love that hack. Great. Well, that is all we have for today. Like always, if you ever have any questions about video, CapCut, anything in general, reach out to me, Jake, or Alex, and we'll be sure to answer them for you. I'm dropping the link to those CapCut tutorials into the chat again. But thank you all for joining. Thank you, Andrew, for your input, and thank you, Jake, for the training. It was super helpful.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.